What? What? No way. I was just doom scrolling on Facebook. Boot up. I was just doom scrolling. You know, a lot of times what I do is I look up the article and I have it ready for you guys by the time I start the video. Every once in a while, something is so wild that I come up and look it up at the same time while showing you my current reaction. Like, I just saw this. James Gunn out at DC with Warner Bros. Sale. Exclusive. Whoa. Cosmic Book News has been right about a lot of stuff. Several things over the years. Oh, let's take a look at this. Wow. With Superman reportedly bombing financially, with Peacemaker Season 2 flopping with fans, I reached out to my insiders about the state of DCU under James Gunn. The short of it is that James Gunn will be out as the lead, as the head of DCU with the WB Discovery sale. I'm told if David Ellison of Skydance Paramount buys WB Discovery, that Mike DeLuca will be in charge of DC and do a completely new start. How many times are they going to start over? But I will tell you this. With James Gunn's DC so far, I didn't like the Suicide Squad. I liked Creature Commandos. I did not like Superman. I liked the first season of Peacemaker, and I have not finished the second season of Peacemaker, but I'm hearing all type of Yahtzee stuff, and in that first episode is ridiculous. So this is wild. Gunn recently said he is doing whatever he wants with DC. That sounded odd to me, as if you're building a new universe, you would want to be successful with the fans. That's not happening, as both Creature Commandos and Peacemaker fail to chart on Nielsen. I did hear that in another video. They don't have a big audience, and Gunn claims that Peacemaker Season 2 was meant to be a sequel to Superman movie, was pure BS. Someone else, I saw in another video, someone was talking about this, that like, he said it was, but then he said it wasn't, but I never followed up. I get so much stuff from people, and I listen to stuff, and I try to follow up on stuff and make sure I'm making videos on the stuff that really interests me and the stuff that I think you guys will be interested in. That's one thing that I forgot to look up on right there. Superman also failed to resonate with international fans. Its box office also came in under Zack Snyder's Man of Steel by a large margin. Yeah, without inflation factored in. And my whole thing with this, why do people think that domestic is such a great thing? It's always the whole bank, the total bank that you bring in. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, there's just several ways for me to make money as a YouTuber, right? So as a YouTuber, I may bring in money from AdSense, but I may bring in money from brand deals also, okay? So being a YouTuber, if you look at both of these, someone could say, well, your AdSense was so big compared to your brand deal. You're a better YouTuber. Wait, what? How? Think of that as domestic, right inside of YouTube. There are the YouTubers that really got brand deals figured out. They make more on brand deals than they do monthly than they do on their AdSense. Like, you know, I don't really talk my numbers, but This one deal that I was paid, I was like, you're going to pay me what? I was like, that's more than I made last month by a large margin. I was like, I have to master brand deals. This was couple of years ago. And I got so sick and tired of dealing with certain companies that I just never really went through with it. Cause I told you guys, I live like a hermit. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of wants financially or material wise. I'm just not like that. I've thought about making some investments, some bigger investments, business wise, and going into brand deals more to fund that. I've thought of that. So if you start seeing me do commercials again, you know about it. But that's my point. It's like, what are you talking about? It's the whole bank. It's not just your AdSense. How much did you make from merch? How much did you make from Patreon? How much did you make from brand deals? How much did you make, and then it's the whole thing. All of that. But that's like someone say, well, the AdSense was great. What are you talking about? Worldwide numbers count. That's the entire thing that you count on to pay for that movie, to break even or do more. I understand why people were pushing domestic so much. You know what I'm saying? Like that, as far as financial success goes. Anyway. Gunn's approach to the DCU has been all about divisive messaging. It's splitting the fan base. I am of the opinion that Gunn is doing whatever he wants with the DC because his days are numbered and he knows it. Oh, that's an interesting take. So he's getting himself, all his friends and his wife, big paychecks before WBD sells. Interesting concept there, idea, theory. That means when a sale goes through, James Gunn is out. So I reach out to my Hollywood insiders. Here's what I am told. Recently, saw the big news that Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi resigned with, I know that Abdi name is hell for people with dyslexia. She probably gets called Adby all the time. Resigned with Warner Bros. In Deadline Bros. In Deadline's report, they basically said it's because of the sale of Warner Bros. Discovery. David Ellison is looking to purchase WBD. So WBD CEO David Zaslav is putting people in place that Ellison wants. That means Ellison wants DeLuca and Abdi in charge of Warner Bros. Films. You'll notice that James Gunn has pivoted from his Playing the Gods and Monsters storyline into what he calls his Superman family saga. The Superman family is all Gunn. The Gods and Monsters storyline is likely ditched because Gunn knows he can only get a select amount of movies out before the sale. I've also been told the reason why DCU projects have been stalling is because of Gunn's interference. The filmmakers want their own vision and not Gunn's. I'm told that most visionary directors in Hollywood are staying away from not only DC, but Marvel and Star Wars because life is too short and everyone is looking for original properties. I'm told Zack Snyder is happy doing his original stuff, but would only return to DC for one last movie, an adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. Man, I'll tell you this though, as much as I like Zack's stuff, if he didn't finish Justice League, I would take that. I would take that. Take that. I'm told if Warner Bros. Gets sold, that whoever buys it wants a completely new start. While it has been reported that Skydance is eyeing to purchase WBD, I'm told Universal Comcast is still in the mix. I know they've been eyeing WBD for years. What I'm told is if David Ellison buys Warner Bros. Discovery, is that James Gunn will be out. David Ellison's father, billionaire David Ellison, is close to President Donald Trump. Oh boy. So Peacemaker isn't getting a season 3, and Gunn lied about a family-friendly approach to DC. I'm told that actually nobody in the building knows his status except for Gunn himself. But his action speaks as to what might happen. Again, it's obvious, and Gunn said it himself, he's doing whatever he wants with DC. It's because with the sale, his DCU will be dead. Recall how my insider told you about the real ending of The Flash, which is something Gunn completely changed. DeLuca wanted to bring Zack Snyder's DCEU, which would have, in part, led to the return of Henry Cavill as Superman and the return of Ben Affleck as Batman, with a Batman multiverse happening. Interesting. That all got scrapped when Gunn took over for the DCU. I am of the opinion that Gunn knew about the eventual sale of WBD and that Zaslav handed over the reins and gave him the ability to do whatever he wanted before the sale. They just want DC content out there to make the sale. Oh, WBD look better. Back to DeLuca and DC. I'm told that he won't be bringing back the Snyderverse, as everyone has moved on. He'll be starting a new DU universe under David Ellison and Skydance, and it's my guess will bring back Truth, Justice, and American Way. Hey, DeLuca! Finish off, if Zach's willing, finish off the last 2. Finish off the last 2, man, of Justice League. We also know Gunn's history with the conservatives, which also likely explains Gunn's DCU agenda. He's getting it all out there before the sale. Mike DeLuca discovered David S. Goyer, who is known for Blade, Man of Steel, and of course Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Mike also brought in Sinners and Weapons and oversaw the Conjuring franchise. Okay. Also add in Minecraft. He knows cinema, history, and global movements, and is a die-hard comic book fan. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! I did not expect this. All right. Have at it in the comments. Have at it in the comments. I'm sure it's going to be gory. Good Lord. I got to sit down and think. Man.